Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and this is my new-ish YouTube book review account. I wanted to bring you guys back here today to kind of do a little bit different video than I did last time. I specifically want to talk about a book that I have started reading. That is a very interesting book, if you could say the least. Today I started reading Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen because I was very interested about the blurb that was on Goodreads, because, you know, sometimes I like picking up books and being like, oh, maybe this is good. And so the way I found out about this book was through TikTok, about someone doing like a Mandalorian thing. I was like, that's interesting. That's fascinating. And then I later found out it was actually the author that made that TikTok video. So I was tricked into it. I was fooled, bamboozled by the own author to read this book. I will say, this is not a book that's for me, and I know that. I like to read books that are kind of like this, like sillier fantasy romance books, because I think that it needs to be critiqued. And honestly, I am a hater. I can't not say that. But I'm like, I want to like constructively critique it. I don't know. I want to have fun. And I will try to find like the goodness from this book. Yeah. This is not going to be like, hopefully, it won't be like just a full rant, book review. So I first wanted to read to you the synopsis on Goodreads because it's insane. I've read it, like, this was like my second time recording it and I don't want to read it again. Okay. 4 beastly princes, 1 awkward bookworm, an enchanted world of fae, magic, and danger. I've always loved fairy tales. I never imagined I'd actually be in one. When my father wanders into the enchanted realm of the fae, I know I have to go after him. And when he gets imprisoned, I'll do anything to save him, ... even trade my freedom for his. I had no idea that I'd actually end up being imprisoned by 4 sexy fae who turned into beasts at night. I have to win my freedom, and that means making a bargain with them. They must find their mates in order to break the curse. If I can help them do that, they'll set me free. Sounds simple, right? It's not. Because against my better judgment, I'm starting to fall for these beastly princes. One is smart and sweet, the other mysterious and deadly, another flirty and confident, and the last prince, ... He's strong, handsome, has a wicked temper, and is dead set against breaking the curse. Why does he want to keep me here forever? But it's not just my freedom on the line. If I don't break the prince's curses soon, all the magic in the enchanted veil will be stolen by the evil and stupidly hot Prince of Thorns. And I'm not letting my princes stay cursed. Not after I've fallen in love with them. I feel like that every time I read that, it just takes like years off my life. Yeah, so the genres are fantasy, reverse harem, fae, romantasy, fantasy romance, retellings, and magic. If you can't tell, it's a Beauty and Beast retelling, multiplied by 4. So that's gonna be interesting. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and this is, I feel like it's very similar to this, just multiplied by 4, like I said. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. Yeah. I'm going to do this video kind of like a vlog style and then a recap after I finished it. So I'll be doing snippets of what I find are funny during like the vlog. And then I will be recapping the plot and explaining my likes and dislikes about it after I finish it. I've decided to do this during like the couple weeks closing up to my finals, so that's fun. I'm glad I did that for myself. But yeah, I think I need a little bit of break, like mental strain from all of my other readings that I've had to do. So I'm really excited to take you along with me on this trip. Excuse my dishevelment, it's really early in the morning, but page 2, and we already talk about like, oh, I have to like put up my hair in a messy bun. Okay, next paragraph from the messy bun, but I have also heard that this is set in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm from the Pacific Northwest. So let's see how it is. So it says, rain during the fall in the Pacific Northwest is as typical as a bear shitting in the woods, but that doesn't stop the locals from complaining. What? And another thing, there's nothing I hate more than when someone calls their dad Papa in current day setting. Like, I get it, it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but oh my god. Okay, I found it. I wanted to storm out and scream that I've heard everything they said, that they had no idea what they're talking about, that Papa isn't mad. Like, it's unserious as soon as you say that. So Rosalina just met up with Lucas, which is her ex-boyfriend, and so now we know her age. She's 26, so hopefully she'll actually act like a 26-year-old and not like an 18-year-old. Fingers crossed. Uh-oh, Papa's missing. She's gonna have to go find her father. Okay, so I've read a little bit farther, and I also finished Arcane, and I'm mentally unwell, but it's okay. And there are 2 pop culture references on the same page. I hate that. I hate that so much. First, we got the Dune mantra, and then we got the Mufasa style death plummet. I fear. Okay, so I'm at work now, and I just got up to the part where she chooses to switch places with her dad so that he can be free. And she's like, I'll be imprisoned instead. And I was like, okay, this is gonna go like how Beauty and the Beast usually does. And then she's like in the dungeon for like a couple seconds, and then she's like, it's really bad in here, I'm gonna like immediately leave. So like the castle's magic apparently, and like the castle like lets her go, and so she starts to run away, and then she meets like the Mandalorian night guy, and then he's like, oh, this guy, like the winter dude, kept you in a prison. We're gonna like upgrade you to a room, but you're still stuck here. And then he like tells this servant girl, he's like, keep her watered. I want to go back to work. This sucks. So I have a theory, and I don't like this theory. I really don't like this theory. So like, this is what I just read. I'm putting it here because I'm reading on my phone, and I'm also filming on my phone. I have a sneaky suspicion that either she is the fated girl of like she's the Thorn King's mate, or somehow she's all 4 of their mates. I swear to God, if that's the truth, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die right here. Perish. She's like directly copying A Court of Thorns and Roses at this point. Like not directly copying. Okay, that's a little harsh, but this, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, doesn't make sense. Hi, welcome to the next day. I am 19% in, and it's already started with all of like the kind of the freaky side. It started with the freaky side. I'm afraid for my well-being. Okay, I just started tea for myself because this is blasphemous. They met like maybe 5 pages ago, and he's like, okay, I'm washing myself in the bath because we're in a hot springs bath, and then he's like, he like starts stroking it. Like I at least I'm assuming like he's washing his little guy. But oh my God, already you met a couple pages ago. This is like borderline sexual harassment. No, this isn't borderline. This is sexual harassment. This isn't good. This is not nice.
huge ick of mine is when men just come on way too quickly. Like, they're like cocky men, and I'm like, being cocky doesn't excuse you like touching someone that you don't really know, and you like flirting with them and being really creepy and weird, especially if the main character is not like totally into it. I mean, obviously she is, because this is the way that the book is written, but I just no. Also, another thing is that for some reason my Kindle isn't showing the image that's like on here. I'm gonna try to find it. So I just have to stare at this ugly thing every time I change a chapter. So that's really fun. I hope the image is good to deserve this. I also wanted to say that I've been talking to my friend Anna, who I share this account with, and my wrap-up of this is going to be me explaining the plot to her. So that's going to be really fun. Sorry, I know I keep coming back, but we just had the curse explained, and I mean, we knew that this was going to happen. It's tiring, okay? It's tiring. The curse of the enchantress rings as it always does in my mind. This spell may only be broken by winning the true love of your destined mate, and having them accept the mated bond that has long been fated among the stars. I don't like mate stuff. I just don't. It's not like, especially in ACOTAR, I feel like my Kindle's battery is low. That's crazy. That never happens. I feel like in ACOTAR, it's a really good example of like, this is the person's mate, and then like, it's actually not. And then we have to like go through all of that again, and it's like, okay, this is a lot to deal with. I think they actually did that pretty well. Just not for me. Yeah. I need to stop saying that it's not for me because I'm reading this and I'm like enjoying reading it because it's fun. Like, I could be doing homework right now. Like, I leave for work in an hour and I will be thinking about this book while I'm at work because I'm intrigued to see where it will go. Why is Kel insisting that like this makes no sense. This makes no sense. This setup that I have in my camera right now and how I look right now has only been through one chapter. This makes no sense because he's like, I'm gonna keep her here forever. And then he's also like, but none of you guys can touch her. But he's also like, I don't want to do anything with her. Hi, I'm back. I keep coming back. I finished my tea actually. I forgot about that. So I was a little bit curious. I I saw that there was a playlist. I was like, oh, I wonder what like is in the playlist. And it's like normal stuff. And then they like the author put in specific notes for like when this is happening. And I have a very sneaky suspicion that 2 of the guys are gonna get together, which is fine. It's fine. I support everything here. I am stuff here, if that makes sense. I just don't want to like say a lot of my own personal stuff. So I am very supportive of everything. And I really do like proper representation. But the thing that's making it kind of awkward is that the way that this reads is very much like older brother helping younger brother, which are the 2 guys that I think are going to get together because that's the thing that's like showing it the most. But like, it's like he's helping the other guy because I think the fall guy is like the youngest. The fall fae prince is the youngest. So the summer prince and the fall prince, Dayton and Farron, I think. Dayton and Farron, yeah. But it's like, it's hard to even describe because they're just like, it's a very brotherly bond, because I've seen this type of stuff before, like in other fae books, for instance, but they're usually, it doesn't, I don't like it when there's certain stereotypes that gets led into these characters where they're kind of like brotherly and then they become more than just brotherly, if that makes any sense. I just think that it's a weird relationship that it creates. Of course, there's yet again, I always say this, I'm barely any pages in, but I still think it's just weird. It's uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable. I'm not really appreciating it. If it does change though, I will let you know. Like, if they do have like a good solid foundation for this, I will think differently. I'm on my break light right now. I can't talk about this here, but I will. Okay, so it is the next day. It's Monday. Happy Monday for me. Had an 8 a.m. class and I'm very tired, but I need to talk about this. Okay. I don't know how much I can talk about it, to be honest. But that is okay. We'll figure it out together. Let's see, what happened last when I updated people? So Farron, the Fall Prince, and Rosalina are working together to figure out how to find the mates to break the curse. And they're like in the library, like they're in the library every day. And of course, we read from both their perspectives that they're basically like, they're goo-goo for each other. It's not like expertly done. I think it's just very on the nose, which not for me. But then Dayton, the summer prince, comes in with this girl and he's like, we're gonna have sex. And then Farron is like, no, nuh-uh, like that's wrong, don't do that. So they send the girl back through this like magic mirror, and Rosalina sees that. This is basically an inciting incident to have Farron, the Fall Prince, and Dayton get together, because we start to see it, and literally like we read in their perspective that that they like kiss and stuff, and they're like, we're gonna be with you and stuff like that. And I've read some things before, but this was like, they did not cut around the bush. They like went straight through. And basically, to summarize a lot of what I read this part during my break at my work, and it felt wrong. I felt like genuinely bad that I was like reading this in a public setting. Well, I was like in the basement, but still. But they basically, they're doing the hanky-panky, and Rosalina accidentally walks in on them because she realizes like she finds out like something that can help find the mates, and which is like smell. They're like, oh, if you have like an inciting incident with smell or something, like you can find your mate. Or like having a traumatic event happen will like make your mate finder basically like dormant, so you can't find your mate, which is okay. So they do that, and so she walks in on them basically, and she's just like watching them, and she's like, oh, I can't look away. I can't look away. I'm like, girl, leave. This is special time for them. But of course she gets turned on, and she's like, I want to be between them and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh my god. And so she's like turned on by it, and then her like knees buckle, and she's like, oh, oh my god, they saw me. And they did. And Farron was like getting to the tippy top of his mountain, and he was like, oh my god, Rosalina, because he sees her, and she's like, oh my god, he said my name. So she runs away, and she like goes outside, and so she starts doing her own stuff by herself, because she was like, it was really hot, and I was just like, okay, guess we're reading more of this. I get that's what this book is about. Yeah. And the Prince of Thorns shows up, but not before she's like diddling herself, and like thorns wrap around her legs, and like they start like squeezing her, and I was like, oh no, don't take this where I think it's gonna be. And so like the thorns like prick her, and she's like, ow. And so it was the Prince of Thorns that was there. I think his name's like Cassian. I don't know. They have weird names. I think it is Cassian. So he's like, I've been watching you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I wanted to see like the girl that was like trapped here. And she was like, you were so weird. She like hates him and stuff. And so he's like, I'll be watching you, and like you should come down to the underworld, which is like my realm, and like we can have sex. And she was like, nuh-uh. But also something that happens a lot is like the characters will like touch her face or like grab her, and I'm like, dude, why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you immediately going like, hey, like backing away, or like even like, why aren't you responding to the fact that they're touching you? And like just being like oh, I gasped or something. She's just like there, like she's not responding at all, and I think it's very strange. Sorry, this is a long update. And then the Prince of Thorns sends this naked girl to their castle, and she was like, oh, he sent me here, we were like in the middle of having sex, and he sent me here, and he like told me to give you this. And she gives Rosalina a piece of paper where the Prince of Thorns says like, I was thinking about you the whole time. And it's tiring. I read this and I was like, I read this last night. This was after I came back from work. It was very tiring. Yeah. I definitely think that she's either going to be Keldarian's mate, which is the winter guy, or she's going to be Caspian or Cassian's mate, which is the thorn guy. You have to give a really good reason for why a human matters so much, and they really aren't given that. Like, I wish that like there was at least still some more hatred before they were like, oh my god, you're so sexy, and I'm like, she's just a random girl. Okay. Something else I figured out, that I don't really know how to feel about this, but I thought the author was one person. No, it's two people. The Helen and Elizabeth are sisters, and their pen name is Elizabeth Helen. I can't even imagine the awkwardness that would go into writing sex scenes with your sibling. I don't have any siblings of my own, but that idea is a little bit interesting. I'm not insinuating anything. That would be so uncomfortable for me. I would not like that. Not appreciate that one bit. But that's all for me for today, for this morning at least. I have a meeting and stuff that I have to do. I don't know how much reading I'll be able to do today, but I'm 48% of the way through, so I'm hoping to finish it at least by tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'm really liking this. I like how it's like getting a lot more intense now. But of course, this is like the secondary plot, basically. Hi, so it's actually been a couple days. Sorry for the weird lighting. I'm trying a new setup. I'm home right now, not in my dorm room. So that's really nice. I don't know quite where I want to film yet in my like situation, so this is a possibility. A lot has happened since I last checked up on you guys. So some new information has happened. First of all, like nothing really big has happened honestly for Rosalina, but they're just still searching for their mates. Yeah, that's kind of it for that part. So basically every full moon they get to stay as humans for the night, which is such a plot device. And so they're like, oh, like the werewolf movies got it wrong, and I'm like, I wanna die. Ugh. One of the reasons why I haven't updated is because I've just been reading it in between classes, and I've just been so tired. I think my last update was around 45 to 50% of the way through, and now I am 72% of the way through. So I'm gonna update you on kind of what's happened so far. So Dayton takes Rosalina to his like summer place basically, and I really liked some of the things that they had to say when they were in that area, but it was also like they were there for only a couple seconds and then they went to like a sex dungeon, so that was really fun to read about. And they like, everyone was like, oh my god, she's like a human and like we're gonna break you. And I'm like, how did they like, so she had her hair like covering her ears basically, but how do you not figure out that someone's a human? Like usually they smell different and stuff like that. Sorry, everyone's moving a lot upstairs. This is like the quietest part in my house right now. It's Thanksgiving, so everyone's kind of going crazy. But like how do you not know what a human like smells like if like humans have like super senses or something crazy? So yeah, that part I think is kind of weird. And then he's like, oh, I need to have sex, Dayton or whatever his name is. And he's like, oh, I need to have sex. And Rosalina's like, oh, I need to have sex. And like they're like, we should choose other people. And then they're like, but what if we choose each other? What if we choose each other? So they like go home. Magical plot device is like literally just opening a door and like suddenly going home to the veil. Something I really wanted is like the magic to be explained a little bit more, because it's like kind of touched on in a very convenient setting, and then they just like they graze over it so quickly and then they move on. So that kind of sucks in my opinion. But yeah, it was okay. I mean, like in the summer realm, I yet again I wish that they had just more. So then they go home, and then he like starts like kind of going down on her a little bit. They don't get to third base or anything, but then like he's stopped by like the other people, and Farron, the fall guy, he's like, he gets angry, and I fully believe that they're mates for each other, Dayton and Farron, I think, because like it's kind of obvious. Because like they're like, oh, I have like this like feeling in my chest that's exactly the description of what it feels like to find your mate. So obviously they're mates or something. And I'm like, this is gonna be so like, we're gonna figure this out. And everyone's gonna be like, oh my god. So yeah. Oh, also, Rosalina drinks a lot of Fey wine, but apparently that's harder than regular wine. So yeah. And then Keldarion, the winter guy, he like comes in and like stops them. He stops them and like, no, guys. And they like, and so he takes her back to his room because he feels like primal rage, like I need to protect her because like obviously she's his mate or something. I don't know what this plot twist is gonna be, guys. It's kind of weird. So he's like she's like, I need to protect her and stuff like that, and like he like changes her into this like t-shirt, but it's like too oversized and like it shows her booty, and like she like flashes him twice, and I'm like, wow, that's so great, you guys. So yeah, And then what happens? She basically drinks more alcohol, and then she, like, talks to him and is like, tell me about your tragic past. And he was like, no, queen. And I'm like, we're 72% of the way through this book. How is everything and yet nothing happened? I know that there's more than one. Depending on how this video goes, I might read another one. But, like, girl, nothing is happening. There's nothing happening. Like, there's a lot of gay sex happening, which is great. Not what I was expecting. Also kind of weird coming from two sisters. That's just my opinion. No hate towards the authors. That's weird. Sorry, my dog's here. You wanna say hi? Come on. Say, up. Aww. Hold on. Aren't you cute? So yeah, that's kind of where I was at. She threw up and stuff, and then she was, like, about to go to this, like, tower that's in the middle of their place, and they were like, no, never go into the tower. And then we see from Keldarion's perspective that it's basically Beauty and the Beast, like the rose, but it's the 4 different roses for the 4 different princes, and they're different colors. So cutesy. Keldarion, the Winter Prince, is, like, blue colored. So that's cool. It's so cool of him. He said something about how the Caspian took, like, okay, here. There's still hope for him to find his mate. Maybe that will break this curse. But as I lay upon the cold earth, his snot touching mine, his paw across my own, as if he could protect me from myself, I know there's nothing left for me, not since the Prince of Thorns took it all. So emo. God, so emo. Basically, what I'm thinking is, like, the Prince of Thorns is, like, part of this, like, debate is, like, oh, he, like, you can't have your own mate or something like that, or something stupid. It's gonna be stupid, I swear to God. Baby, come back. Hi. Oh, also the wolf form, because they were wolves, because it was at nighttime, so they were angsty wolves. Me when my 2 wolves battle in my mind. Yeah, I'm on chapter 43 now. So I'll see if I'm gonna read while my family is making food together. Most likely I will. I just am not in the mental space to go over anything else in fine detail, but I will soon, promise. Okay, so I just finished it. I'm gonna go eat Thanksgiving dinner and try not to think about it. I'm gonna save the end for when I recap it, which I will do tomorrow. Oh my god. If this does well, I will have to read the second one. Oh my god.
We're back. I've never been
This is...
I'm new here.
Yeah, but this is what it's gonna be like. So this is Anna.
Hi, I'm the other book lab partner.
Yeah. We're finally doing a video together because I filmed mine in the summer, and then this one I did not want to force you to read, so I'm now gonna let you, like, experience
Appreciate the consideration for my well-being.
Yeah. So Anna does not, like, she knows, like, little rants that I've done about this book. She does not know the whole thing. because I've like held back, I've contained myself to monetize this.
How much does it hurt to keep this in?
Oh, so bad. It was so bad. Okay, so I gave her a I gave her like a Google slide to show all of the pictures of the characters, and I swear to God, the authors
Right, wasn't this written by sisters?
yeah,
Oh my God.
it was they fan casts the main characters, so I had to come up with some of my own, and that was glorious. I love doing that. I think I did a better version than some of them. I look better like that. Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna have her react to it at first.
Okay. Am I going?
I'm putting
so
it up.
I'm going to look.
I'm putting it up right here.
I have it here.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the main character who says she's ugly.
What movie is this character from?
She's
Looks very familiar.
She's from Brave. She's the maid from Brave.
I was like, this one looks very familiar.
The four smaller characters I picked out myself.
An F1 guy.
Yeah, it is an F1 guy. Because I
can't
tried.
believe this.
No, I tried to find old men, and I couldn't think of anything that much, so I picked Christian Horner. Okay, so I'm gonna start off the plot. She has it propped up to show her. Okay, and I'll point to you.
My iPad might turn off. But
I'll like point and show like who I'm
is that
talking
Ben
about.
Barnes?
It is Ben Barnes.
And is that Andrew Garfield?
It is Andrew Garfield,
Okay.
and then that is Brad Pitt. That is
The guy from the
Henry
Witcher?
Cavill. Henry Cavill.
I forgot this name.
That's Pedro Pascal. Oh no. That's a random anime girl that I found to symbolize white hair. And that's Billy from Stranger Things. Okay. So
is this Catherine Zeta-Jones? Who is that?
yeah, she's from The Mummy.
Okay. I recognized her from Mask of Zorro.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to. My water bottle is suddenly too empty. Oh, actually, wait. What am I doing? This is an iPad. This is an iPad.
She just flipped it to like prop itself up.
I know how to use an iPad, guys.
Okay. So we first start off with Rosalina, our main character.
I hate how this is tarnished her name.
Yeah.
My Mario Kart main.
Yeah, Mario Kart main, rip, rest in peace. So she works at a coastal town bookstore and reads like all the time.
Of course she does.
Yeah, of course she does. Let's see. Some things that like I remember that I was like, oh my god. I did this earlier in the video, but so the bookstore that she works at is like Pelican's Gullet Cove or something.
Gullet Cove.
Yeah, it's like
wild.
there's gullet in the word, which is insane. And then so like she's like talking to her, like the first kind of instance that we get is like she's talking to her boss like, boss, we need to buy more romance books, and he's like, those romance books, they never sell.
As if romance isn't the highest selling genre.
Exactly.
For the last few years.
Yeah, literally. And it's like set in like current day, so that was kind of funny.
Does it take? I feel. Do we know what state she's from?
She specifically says the Pacific Northwest.
Fuck! I was gonna say Maine.
Nope.
Wrong Portland. No!
Pacific Northwest.
You can't do that.
Not to us. Not
That's
to
not
our
fair.
home.
It's cruel.
Yeah. So this is based on Beauty and the Beast, as you know. So her dad is like trying to find his long lost wife who disappeared like a while ago, and he thinks the
Long-lost
fairies
wife?
took her, and everyone's like, haha. But like
You
he's
should
like,
probably look at the camera a little more. You're looking down a lot.
I'm reading the. I'm trying to. Okay. So
I know, but it also just looks like you're looking down at your lab.
Ooh. No. So she's like, he is like looking for his wife in Jordan, like when
In Jordan?
Yeah,
Or the
in-
name's Jordan.
in Jordan, like the country, and then
What's he doing in the Middle East?
I don't know, and he like, and she's like, okay, well my dad's gone, and
Sorry,
she
is
had
Fairyland in the Middle East?
Fairyland.
Is the land of the fairies in the Middle East?
No. No. That's the main thing that I'll come to later. Like he like goes looking for her in their backyard in the woods, and then he like goes to the realm of the Fae. So that's great. So What else? So she is like heading home after like working, and she runs into her ex-boyfriend Lucas.
Oh no.
And he's a guy that like just she thinks he's such a good guy. She thinks he's such a good guy, but in reality he is actually abhorrent. He like there was one part where they talked about like how he what was that? He basically like he always leaves her, but he always comes calling back to her because she's easy. Lucas is Billy.
Billy?
Yeah, because like he's
Okay.
He's pictured
picturing.
yeah, he's pictured with red hair.
He's a
So
redhead. He's an
yeah,
evil
he's an evil redhead. Oh, by the way, this is her dad.
Who is that in real life?
Dad in real life is Christian Horner.
Is he one of the like coaches?
He's a principal.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, does not matter. But she's like, this is so hard to explain. He meets up with her and he's like, hey, how you been? I've been so successful in like going out of this crazy little town, which is called like Star Cove or something like that. So you know it's fake. And
Well, one of the towns in Oregon's named Seaside. So.
Seaside, yeah. Nah, Seaside's fine. Seaside's fine. And then hold on, I have an itch. And then he's like, you should go on a date with me, and she's like, oh yeah, sure, that sounds great.
I'm a pushover.
Yeah, literally. And then he takes her, like, he's like, we'll meet up and have like a cool little date, and she's like, oh okay. And so she goes to his like manor, and
He's rich.
oh yeah, he's rich, but he's
Of
also
course.
like a huntsman because he's Gaston. He's like the Gaston character.
Oh.
But
that
like,
makes sense.
how does a huntsman have like I guess it's like a hunting lodge? Yeah, I think that's what it is. So he says to her that he's gonna stay here and become that. But then there's like a bunch of people at like their quote unquote date, and she's like underdressed in her leggings and a t-shirt and a big puffy scarf.
Her Uggs, probably.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
No hate to people who wear Uggs, but
No hate, but that's like everyone at our college. From like 2013. So
well, Uggs are trendy now.
okay, that is true. They come back. They like do a cycle.
Fashion does.
Yeah. So she's like, God, why there's so many people here? And then he's like, be my wife. Literally. He says that break all of the hearts in this town and marry me, won't you, pumpkin? And she's like, oh, but I don't know what to say. And then
You
she
can
like
say no.
yeah,
You can
li-
say no. If someone proposes to you and you don't want to marry them, say no.
literally she's like, but I think I love him because this is what love is, right? And then she was like thinking back to like all the times he was like, I fucking hate you, you cow. And like he used to slap her legs because like he would want to see her thighs jiggle and shit like that. And I'm
Right,
like,
it's not part of her character that she's chubby.
I think so, but the actor isn't. So I don't know. She's mid-sized. Okay. So they're talking about that, and like she's like, oh, but I don't know what to do, you guys. Like, should I marry him? But she's like about to say yes, and then this random ass dude comes in, and he's like, I found your papa. Oh, by the way, she calls her dad Papa.
Okay. How old is she?
26.
26!
Yeah, she is an adult.
No.
She is an adult. So she only refers to him as Papa, like, I need to go find my Papa. So Lucas is the guy that, like, no, not Lucas, there's another guy. Random citizen is like, I found your dad's coat. And she's like, oh my god, we gotta go find him. Like, in the middle of this, she's like, gotta go find my dad. And so they, like, go through the forest, and Lucas is with them, and he, like, brings his rifle, and he's like, man, guns, shooting violence. And they, like, come across this, like, big rose bush. And, like, and yeah. And then she was like, the dude was like, that's where I found his coat. And she was like, oh, okay, well, we gotta go through the rose bush or something. Like, somehow...
That sounds painful. You can't go around it?
Yeah.
How big is this thing?
It's pretty big. So she
It's
goes...
a wall of roses.
I literally said, and of course she goes into the brambles. So...
Because she's tough.
She's tough and different. She's not like other girls. So she
Right.
goes into the brambles, and then she comes out of the other side, and she's like, this looks different. And then she sees goblins. And the goblins are like,
Just walking across the path.
Literally. No, they're like, I'm gonna eat you, blah, 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 blah. Like, yummy, yummy. And then,
I will say, I do appreciate the idea that the woods of the Pacific Northwest are magical enough. I will agree with that.
yeah, I know, I like that idea. I like the vibe. And...
Also, okay.
What? What?
Can't do that to the Pacific Northwest.
No, you can't do that to the Pacific Northwest. And they talked about something else. They described, like, it rains in the Pacific Northwest like how a bear shits in the woods. It's always expected.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's like, where did that come from? Where was that metaphor? Why was it placed here?
Wow.
So that's fun. So she's like super scared, and Lucas like runs away. He's like, bitch, I'm out.
My girlfriend disappeared into a rose bush.
No,
I do not have the balls to save her.
No. He went into the rose bush with her, saw the goblins, and was like, dipping. I'm gonna dip.
Pussy.
Yeah. So
You are no man.
you are
no man if you don't stick around to protect your fiance from goblins.
Literally. So she like sees like a guy with like dark hair and pointed ears as she's like falling unconscious because she's so scared, and then she wakes up in a ditch.
Dead in a ditch.
She literally wakes up in a ditch, and then she like walks out and she's like, where am I? And then she finds like a castle, and the castle,
She's just happening to find these things?
Yeah, she's just walking.
Okay.
Not Deus Ex Machina on literally everything. So she finds the castle, and there's like a bunch of thorns like crawling all over it, which is really cool. It's really cool imagery of like having like thorns like kind of destroying the castle, but it's also a tree. Do you want to know what the castle's name is called?
Castle.
No.
Tree castle.
Yeah, no.
Tree.
Tree. No, it's Castle Tree.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So basically, during all of this, we go back in time a little bit, and literally the Beauty and the Beast plot happens, where where her dad like goes into the castle like earlier in the day, and then he's like, I need to get a rose for my Rosalina because she wants a rose when I get back after all my travels of trying to find my wife that's gone. And then
Does the wife have a name?
no.
Okay.
Nope. I mean, she won't come up after, like... Also, it seems like Rosalina does not care. Like, she's like, yeah, my mom's dead. Then, like, she's like...
gone. I'll never see her again. I don't care.
Like, she never thinks about it. She never thinks about her dad leaving. She never thinks about, like, her mom at all.
She's just focused on dick.
She's focused on that dick. Anyway, so... The main guy... Oh, by the way, there's, like, 4 seasons, and there's 4 princes for each season. So the Winter Prince comes in, and he's like, you're trespassing.
Is that the Witcher guy?
That's the Witcher guy, yeah.
That makes sense.
The Winter Prince comes in, and he's like, you're trespassing. And the dude's like, but I just wanted a rose. And so Castle Tree's magic is founded on this tree that also has roses.
It's magic, don't worry about it.
Don't worry. So he is like, you fucking broke my rose, I'm gonna kill you. And like, so he like throws him in the dungeon. And then by the way, guess what his name is?
The prince?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Keldarion.
Oh. Ugh. What's
He
that
usually-
even like supposed to
I
be?
have no idea. He usually goes by Kel, but I'm gonna call him Keldarion every single time. I'm gonna use that name. Okay.
The authors were like, an elf man with white hair?
Yeah.
Astarion. Can't name him that.
Astarion? No.
Keldarion?
Keldarion?
So-
Astarion. Keldarion.
Okay.
Astarion and Keldarion.
Wait, sorry, how's that spelled? Can I see?
Keldarion.
Keldarion. Huh.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
Ezrin, Keldarion, Dayton, Pharon, and Caspian. Those are the princes.
That's
Those
five.
are those guys. Well, I'm also including the Prince of Thorns. You can't forget the Prince of Thorns.
Am I crazy? Is there a character in one of the Akatar books named Caspian? Cassian?
It's Cassian.
Cassian.
This makes Akatar look like lit fic. It's actually insane. Okay, so Beauty and the Beast plot happens. She's like, I'll make a bargain with you. I'll take my dad's place instead. And then he's like, you don't know what you're getting into. And then she's like, but I'm gonna do it. And so she, like, when she's in the cell, she sees this other guy that's in the cell, and she's like, oh, why are you also trapped in the dungeon? And he has this, like, huge collar on that's, like, comically too big for him. And she's like, I wonder why that's there. I wonder why. And so she's like, I'll help you out. And he's like, no. But then she gets, like, put into prison herself, and then she's like, man, I want to get out immediately because, like, you know,
I'm immediately regretting this.
regretting this. So she's like, I want to leave, and there's a little window, and the castle just grows bigger for her to fit into, like for her to fit through the window.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of that's some Deus Ex Machina shit?
Literally, and then there's like
you know what? She won't fit. She doesn't need to struggle. You know why? I'm gonna make the castle grow because it's a tree.
Yeah, it's like, so the castle kind of responds to her only a couple of times.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
But anyways, the brambles, like the thorns, give her stepping stools to get like down from the castle wall that she like climbed out of, and so she's like
so special.
Yeah, she's so special. So she's making like a book for it, and then she meets Ezrin, the Spring Prince, who's the
Can I guess which one?
Yeah.
Sorry, did you say the Mandalorian's the Spring Prince?
Yes, I did say the Mandalorian's the Spring Prince.
Is it supposed to be like with the mask or just Pedro Pascal?
No, it's with the mask.
Prince of the Spring?
Yeah, so he's like
Okay.
a knight with like all knight armor,
Okay.
and like he can never take his mask off.
That's not what I would expect for. That also sounds familiar. The mask thing? Isn't that an
Oh,
Akatar?
yeah.
I would not expect the Prince of Spring to wear a mask. That's not what I would
Yeah.
expect.
I don't know. I think like winter would fit the vibe better. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
Anyway.
he like chokes her and like he like holds her up and he's like, "You're a spy. You're a spy." And then she's like, and then he like lets her like, and she's like, "But that kind of was sexy."
I kind of. I'm a strangling king.
So like he's like, you're like a spy, and she's like, no, I'm just a prisoner. And then he was like, a prisoner. And then Astrid, which is the girl with with white hair, she's a servant. She comes out and she's like, oh my god, Prince Ezrin, oh, I'm so sorry. This is Prince Keldarion's prisoner, and like she escaped. And this is the first time that Astrid is meeting her. Not Astrid. This is the first time that Rosalina is meeting her, and she's like, "Who the fuck is this person?"
The fuck?
And then Ezrin is like, "Wait, was she in the dungeon?" And like Astrid was like, "Yeah." And Ezrin was like, "Well, that's not very nice." So he like gives her like a bedroom for her to be in the spring. So there's 4 wings.
There's 4 wings.
There's 4 wings. And so there's like winter wing, and it's the cold part. There's spring wing, which is normal. There's summer wing, which is hot, and there's autumn wing, which has like the library and stuff, because Dark Academia core. She goes to the other
Wings?
Yeah, she goes to the spring wing. Spring wing.
Where's her room? In the spring wing?
Yes.
That is far. Spring wing.
Spring wing. So her room's in the spring wing because Ezrin gave it to her, and Astrid and this other girl, Margaret, who's an older,
The maid
It
from
was the
Brave.
maid. Yeah, she's an older saucy minx. Who's a maid here. I don't know.
What?
Saucy minx.
Okay.
They're like, dude, you're gross, you need to take a bath, which is fair. But like
To him?
no, to her, to Rosalina.
Oh.
The maids are like, you gotta take a bath, girly.
She just got here.
So like, but she's like been in the mud.
Oh.
And Ezrin also said you have to make her presentable for these, like, for us, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
It's copyrighted.
So
Wait, can I guess what characters are like the representatives of the Beauty and the Beast characters? I know it might not be as obvious, but like,
yes.
I'm guessing that the two maids are Cogsworth and what's the candelabra guy? I was gonna say Facilier, but that's a guy from
Favier?
it's Fa something.
Candle guy.
From Beauty and the Beast.
Perfect. Lumiere!
Never mind.
Whoops.
Are they supposed to be Cogsworth and Lumiere?
Probably.
Do you think? On like her wingmen kind of.
Yeah. Except they talk about sex a lot, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they have indoor plumbing. They talk about how they have indoor plumbing. She's like, thank God they have toilets. But apparently they don't have a bathtub in her own room, so she has to go down to the hot springs that's inside the castle in the summer section.
Oh, I bet we're about to meet someone. Are we about to meet Brad Pitt?
Yeah, we're about to meet Brad Pitt.
We are about to meet Brad Pitt in the hot springs. I bet he's gonna be in there like fully naked.
No.
No.
So she is in the hot springs. Astrid is like, I need to get you a new dress, BRB. So she runs away, and like, and Rosalina is like, I'm using all of these soaps, and like, I'm naked in like a shower area of the hot springs. But like, you don't bathe in a hot spring.
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
you bathed before.
You just soak in a
So
hot
she has
spring.
she has a basket of like plumage and stuff, like of like random soaps and scrubs, and then behind a rock, Dayton, the summer prince, comes out and he's like, hey. But she doesn't know.
Hey.
Oh, completely naked.
Called it.
She does not know that he's a prince, even though he's like god gorgeous, sexy, and like whatever. So that's great. That's great to know. And so he literally sexually harasses her by like invading her private space, because he comes super close to her and he starts flirting with her, and then
Oh no.
she's like, oh, you should use like these scrubs, they're really nice, and he's like, okay, sure. And then he explains that he washes his chest and then goes down beneath the water and then pumps his arm, saying, can't miss the best part. They met 3 pages ago.
Is he saying that he jacks off whenever he bathes?
No, like, I mean, like, when men bathe, they have to wash their penis.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's true.
But, like, it's so awkward.
That is sexual harassment.
Yeah, literally. And, like, he's just talking about his dangle-angle. She's right there. And then Astrid, the girl, comes back, and she's like, oh my goodness, my prince. And Rosalina's like, I've been talking with a prince this whole time? I've been naked with a prince this whole time? She's, like, naked, like, up here, like, she's, like, in the water and stuff, but, and then he's like, well, I better get going, and he leaves, he exits, and, like, she watches his beautiful butt leave, and she talks for, like, a paragraph about how perfectly crested his little butt cheeks are.
Sorry, can I reference something that completely just popped in my head?
Yeah.
The image of an ass in a hot springs.
Yeah.
Don't know what episode it is, but an episode of Yuri on Ice.
Yes, it's
where
like
they're
a
in
sick-
the hot springs
yeah.
and Victor walks by like the camera and there's just his bare ass.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Oh my god, I watched that with my mom when I was like 12. It was embarrassing.
I don't know if I watched past that episode.
I
I saw man ass and I was like,
Yeah, nah. I mean, and also they describe his, like, she saw his butt leave, and between his legs, something long and hard.
If it's hard, how would you see it dangling?
Yeah, I don't know. Because, like, usually you need, like, pants to block that to make it go down. I don't know. I don't think these women have ever touched a penis, personally.
No, I'm sure they have.
I'm sure they have.
I'm sure they both have husbands who love them very much. Anyway. Don't think about it.
Sorry, I was zoning out to try to get back to my place.
Okay, sorry. I distracted you with your eyes.
Yeah. So she's like, okay, well, back to my normal thing that I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go save the guy. And so when she goes,
the dude in the dungeon.
Yeah.
I forgot, like, her dad, and I was like,
yeah, no, he's gone. He's gone, and he does not care about her anymore. So
she's a strong family.
yeah. Is this where she, like... Okay, yeah. So she's yet again locked inside of her room, like the prison before, and she's like, I want to leave. And then a key...
Like no one wants to be in prison.
A key magically appears next to the door. So she uses it and unlocks the door. But usually, when you lock a door, it's like the other way. I don't know who.
Oh my god. I can't get over the key just appearing.
Oh yeah, no, the key
so
fully
ridiculous.
appears. So,
oh my god.
So then she goes to find the prince, and
which one?
Sorry, I spoiled it. So the guy in the dungeon is one of the princes. She goes to find the guy, and she unlocks the door with a thorn that she pulled out of her hair. But you know, she just took a shower.
But she was also just holding a key.
Yeah, but it was the key to her door, not to the prisoner's door. So she Jimmy rigs the...
I don't think she's smart enough to do that.
No, she's...
Sorry, but it's convenient enough for the plot, so she can get away with it.
Oh, yeah. And then, she's like, I'm gonna save you, but he was taking a nap, and he wakes up, and he's like, oh, no, this is dangerous, you need to leave, you need to run, and she's like, what are you talking about?
What?
And then he starts to change. He turns into a beast, telling her to run.
Oh no!
And then...
Who could have seen the Beast from the Beauty and the Beast retelling coming?
I don't know. So he turns into, like, a huge wolf. They're all wolves.
Is this, like, the size of the, like, wolves in Twilight, probably?
Yeah, I would say so.
Human-sized?
Bigger, yeah, big. So...
Oh, boy.
He actually, like, he gets her pretty bad. He, like, takes a claw and, like, claws her calf pretty hard, and she's, like... bleeding out and stuff. Yeah, owie for sure. That was a boo-boo. And then the other wolves come back and they like protect her, and there's like a wolf that's blue and that has like icicles. There's a wolf that's yellow and has like starfish and seashells in its fur. And then there's a wolf that has like dirt and bones, which is the spring one. I guess flowers were too girly. And then they're like defending it against the other wolf who has like leaves in his fur. And then she's like, oh my god, these are all of the 4 princes, but they're wolves.
She used her brain for something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She made an obvious connection.
Yeah. And
the
so
spring one just being dirt and bones is so...
Okay, so his whole thing is he likes to kill things.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's Spring Prince, the season of life.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So Kaldarion in wolf form, the blue one, takes her back to the room and like sprays like a bit of ice onto her leg to stop the bleeding, which that's totally how that works.
Yeah, it's just some biofreeze.
Yeah, it's biofreeze, exactly. And then she's like, oh my god, and then she falls asleep. And then the next morning she wakes up and she's like, I'm still bleeding. Me on my period. But
I feel like she was bleeding all night, she would be dead.
Literally. And
or fell into a coma or
so
something.
We learn from, I think it's Dayton's perspective.
Is this switching perspectives?
Oh yeah, it switches perspectives a lot.
And I imagine it's first person.
Yes.
With the most obnoxious narration.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Don't worry, I'll read you some bangers. There's I'm gonna make you read a chapter at some point.
I hope it's not too long.
No, it's not. I just want to get your facial reactions to it because I can't talk. I can't say it out loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me so excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah. So
Save me.
anyway, the princes have a meeting, and Kildarion's like, you can't.
Council meeting.
Council meeting. Kildarion's like, you can't touch her. Rah! And we're like, and you also can't have sex with her. He has to specifically say that. Because these are
Weird that you have to say
freaks.
that.
They're weirdos. What the hell are they doing here? Sorry, I was quoting Weezer. So like
You said that to the wrong person. I'm sorry.
yeah, no. We like so Dayton, from Dayton's perspective, he's protecting Farron, which is the Autumn Prince, who's the guy that like turned all beast mode, because he's like he's a weakling.
Is that Andrew Garfield?
Yes.
Okay.
So Farron's not as good with
Who
his.
the fuck is Ben Barnes then?
He's the Prince of Thorns.
Oh.
So, don't worry, he's gonna come in like twice. He's constantly referenced.
Referenced a lot, but only on page twice.
Basically. No, he's on page 3 times, I think. Anyway,
Okay.
not important for this exact moment. So, Dayton is, like, protecting Farron, like a big brother, like, being like, it's not his fault, and, like, all of this stuff, and setting up a lot of, like, brotherly bonds between the two of them, or, like, very, like, caregiving bonds, like, siblings, or at least how I read it was siblings.
I'm sitting here knowing what you've told me before.
So I'm just
scared.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. So the next morning, she's in her bed and she like wakes up and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm still bleeding." Ezrin comes in. He like manhands her, like the Mandalorian guy. He manhandles her and like grabs her leg and like smears goo on it that he like chewed. Like he smears like leaves that he chewed together, and he's like, "There, it will heal," and it did. And she was like, "Wow, you guys all have like magical powers," and he's like, "Yeah. I have the power of healing," even though he's like a guy that kills.
I'm a killer.
I'm a killer.
The skin of a killer.
Bet. So yeah, that's something that happens. And yeah, this is kind of where this weird lull of everything and nothing happens for the rest of the book. That was like a lot.
That was the most action.
It wasn't the most action, but it was a decent chunk. Like, this was up to page 127. Like, all of the things I described. Which is fair. That's a good pace. Also, another thing I want to point out. Whenever I talk about them touching her, because they do it a lot, they like just touch her face and stuff. But, like, whenever they do that, she does not react. She's just like she's stone cold. Like she doesn't like flinch away or anything. Like I gasp at his touch. She's just like, he's touching me.
He's touching me.
And like that's it.
Hi.
Okay, so they all have lunch to talk about what happened the night before, and she doesn't eat her lunch, and so Keldarion is like, "You need to eat your food," and then comes in this weird subplot about her being like, "I'm kind of hungry, but I don't really want to eat right now," and then he like shoves food in her face, and he's like, "Eat," and it's.
I hope you know that most things you were telling me, I'm associating it with a cake.
Oh yeah, that's probably
that's where my mind is going.
Yeah, I'm sure this was more like anorexia stuff, but they did not push it enough on her perspective to make it make sense.
To sound like she was being like.
So she instead of her being like, "I shouldn't eat," she was just like, "I'm not that hungry right now," and then he was like, "Eat your food," and then she was like, "Okay, fine." So that didn't make any sense.
If a pretty man tells me to eat, I will.
Literally. So. She learns about the curse. I didn't even read.
Curse?
I did not read to you the curse. Oopsies.
There's a curse because it's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Page 127.
There must be a curse. Is a curse on all of them?
Yes.
All the princes?
Yes. Not the Prince of Thorns.
Yeah, because he's not a seasonal prince.
Yeah.
Also, are these just princes? Are there no kings, princesses?
Okay.
Do they have families?
Maybe.
Maybe.
So here's the thing that happens. They are like chosen to protect Castletree and the magic that Castletree has. So they're princes, but they're like specialty princes. If that makes
They're
sense.
like chosen princes.
Yeah, they have like
I'm
specialty
picturing
magic.
absolutely nothing around this castle. Like, I'm imagining this is kind of like an
There-
abandoned castle.
here's the
like, there's
thing.
no town.
Here's
or
the
anything.
thing: there isn't. It's just grass and then woods because they have this magical teleporting mirror that then sends them to the realms that they need to go to.
This castle seems like it doesn't serve much purpose.
Oh no! It does
Other than just to keep them in one place. Sorry, did they ever leave this castle?
No. Because no, well they do. Like are you talking about in the plot or like do the people usually not leave?
In the plot.
No, they do.
Okay, things happen outside the castle. That's
Twists.
good to know.
Okay, so the curse is very similar to the curse in Beauty and the Beast, where like the enchantress comes and then she like judges him, but he's like rude to her, so she's like, I'm gonna curse you until you find true love or until someone sees you as how you truly are. And then but the enchantress does that to 4 guys. And she's
One wasn't
and
enough.
here, let me read this. The curse of the enchantress rings as it always does in my mind. This spell may only be broken by winning the true love of your destined mate and having them accept the mated bond that has long been fated among the stars.
Haven't heard that one before.
Nope.
Definitely, that's news to me.
What
I've never heard that before.
brand new information, you guys.
Whoa.
That's the curse. Sorry, I totally blanked on telling you that. It's very obvious.
Clearly not that important.
No. But basically she makes a pact with them because she learns about the curse and then she's like, well, I'll help you guys find your mates. It sounds like they're like
Wait, but so,
Australian and finding their bond.
Finding
Like,
the mates.
finding the mates. We're gonna find your
so-
mates. And after they find the mates, the curse is broken and then she'll get to go home. Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, what I'm lost on is, so in the original thing,
Yes.
in the original story, the beast is cursed so that he stays like a beast until
Forever. Yeah.
he finds, or until someone loves him, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. It sounds like these guys aren't just beasts all the time.
No, they're
just
only-
hot dudes.
They're only beasts at night.
Isn't that special?
Yeah.
I guess they didn't want to quite go into monster fucker territory.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost.
Towing the line, but not quite.
So yeah, they make a bond. They make like a bargain that she's gonna help them find, like, she's gonna help them find their mates, and then when they do, she's gonna go home. But like, fates are like super rare in this world, so like, I don't know how that's gonna fucking happen. Yeah.
Can you imagine some dudes you just met are like, hey, to break a curse, you need to help us find fuck buddies. And she's like, yes.
Yeah.
I volunteer for you.
Yep, I will do that. So Farron is like a dark academia guy, and he's like, I'm always in the library researching, and so she researches with him, and like for like a couple days, and oh yeah, and so like we read it partially from his perspective on like how he's like lusting after her hard, but like,
of course.
and he's like, I want to like bend her over a table, but I won't do that because I'm a nice guy. And like,
I'm such a nice guy, I won't fuck her
such
decently.
a nice guy. I won't like sexually harass her. So
Unlike this other guy over here.
yeah,
I already forgot which dude that was.
Dayton.
No, the one who was hitting on her in the Springs.
Dayton.
Which one? Oh,
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. I almost said Chris Pine.
Same thing. So they were just like hanging out, and then Dayton actually brings over this girl. Wait, is it?
Like just a random girl?
Yeah.
From where? Oh, probably through the like teleporting thing, maybe.
Okay, sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry. I got confused. I thought this was later in the book. Dayton comes into the library because I think like the mirror is nearby with like a drunk Fae girl, and he's also drunk, and he's gonna like have sex with her, and then Farron gets really pissed off because he's like, he can't do that, he can't bring in girls to have sex with in like our castle because we have like protected secrets, and
We have the nuclear codes. We cannot bring them in.
we got access to all of the codes. So they go to the magical mirror for Farron to send the girl home so that they don't have sex. and like Rosalina is like, okay, like she's just like standing here for like this entire situation where Farron and Dayton are talking, and Farron's upset at Dayton because Dayton's day drinking. And like he's like, you can't do this, blah 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 blah. And so she like goes away for a little bit, and then this is more
Rosalina?
Yeah, Rosalina.
Okay.
The other girl's gone. Rosalina goes away for lunch or something, and
Okay.
Farron takes Dayton back to his chambers, and then they suddenly start making out.
These two?
Those two.
Oh. I hate that because with these pictures specifically, Andrew Garfield looks 16 and
he
Brad
looks
Pitt
like 40.
Yeah, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, like
40.
maybe 30. 40's a bit harsh. But yeah.
Harsh.
Yeah. And like how Farron's like a weakling basically. And Dayton is like the older brotherly character for him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So super love
This
that.
part.
Super love
They
that.
start making out.
They start making out. Dayton wants to have sex. Farron's like,
Whose perspective are we in for this scene?
I think it's Farron's. Let me go find it real quick. Yeah. He grabs his big wooden spoon, and he then, they basically have sex, and
Sounds like some interesting consent there, but
yeah, very interesting consent. Very interesting consent. No
but
consent.
consent doesn't matter in fantasy, right?
No. No. So Rosalina's currently having lunch while they're going to Pound Town, and she's with Keldarion. Also, Keldarion is like, we're gonna have a meal every single day, and like,
I am so
He's-
starved for a woman we are going to eat every day.
So he's like, we're gonna have like lunch together to like, so I can make sure you're eating. Which I'm like, if this is
That's weird.
if this is a big problem, then make
That's
it
weird.
Yeah. If this is a big problem, then make it a big problem. Like, it's not on her behalf. But then
he just takes it personally for some reason.
he also like, there are multiple times when she's like, well, we gotta keep up this part of our bargain where we eat dinner together and stuff. And he like does not care. She's like brings her meal to him because she's like, well, I guess we're eating together because you forced me to. But he's like, so
Pick a side, dude. Do you care or do you not?
yeah. So she's like she's hanging out with him and while he's eating, and she's reading a book, and then he grabs the book from her hand and like pulls her up, and so she's like suspended in the air with just holding onto the book. So the book rips, but then he like holds her in his arms, but he doesn't let go of her. Not until the very end of the chapter while they're talking about all of this, and he like smells her hair.
She's just in his arms.
Yeah.
And they're just chatting.
Yeah.
Very normal.
Yeah.
Very normal.
Very normal. Did she consent to being held? Think not.
Probably not.
No, probably not. So she starts being like, oh my god, I just realized like a way that you can find your mates is by
Downloading Grindr. Sorry.
The way to find mates is like you can either smell them or something, or like having a big incident. But also, she also found out that your mate bond can be dormant if trauma happens. But also, you can find your mates easier if trauma happens. So it's completely like, basically, she says like, oh, an inciting incident will make your mate bond stronger, so you'll feel each other if like something bad happens to your other mate. But if something traumatic happens and you're like traumatized, then your mate bond can go into hiding. That's the same thing, right?
That's weird. I was gonna make some sort of trauma bonding joke, but I didn't even understand it enough to like make it properly.
So she talks to him and she's like, oh my god, I have a great idea. We should like host a ball so you can like find your mate closer to you in like the winter realm.
How old are these guys? How long have they been doing this?
They're only like 25.
Oh. That's not bad. Because, like, if they were hundreds of years old, I'd be like, have they tried nothing?
Yeah, no, this has only been
around doing nothing.
No.
Why is this human girl the only one coming up with
I
ideas?
think they're older than 25. I'm sure they're like 100, but they've been cursed for 25 years.
Oh, so not even like most of their lives, like in the original fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because isn't he like, at least in the Disney one, he's like
He's
a teenager?
He's a teenager in the original story.
Adolescent.
Yeah. So, okay. She's like, I need to tell Farron, this is exciting news. And so she goes to him. And this is where I'm going to make you read.
Oh no. Like their third interaction and they're gonna bang. Or
Not
vice versa.
her.
Oh no. Is this the. Oh shit.
So
I think I know what this is.
So she accidentally walks in on Farron and Dayton.
I hate the image of this with Brad Pitt and Andrew Garfield. Okay. I can faintly hear
Yeah, here we
Kyler
go.
drumming.
Yeah. My boyfriend's drumming.
Holy Moses! Mm. Oh.
Like, this is like been the most forward imagery I have ever heard. Like, it's not, there's no metaphor.
Oh
It's
my
just,
God.
it is what it is. It's very literal.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate iron length. I hate that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Ew, trickle of cream.
Trickle of cream.
Ugh.
Yeah.
She's so turned on by this. She has a voyeurism kink.
Oh yeah, no, she wants to be in betwixt them. Can I just show you that this isn't even 50%?
Oh my god.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
What pleasantries.
Yeah. So she falls down because her knees are too weak because the sight is just too amazing. And they see her, right, as Farron's cresting his little choo-choo train hill. And then he's like, Rosalina! And she runs away. She goes into the garden for some reason to have her alone time. And so she continues having fun. And then rose thorn vines move up her legs to start gripping her.
Oh.
And she's like, oh my god, this is kind of sexy. And then the thorn's grip is too hard, and so it starts trickling blood, and she's like, owie, that hurts.
Oh.
This is, I wanted to die.
I can imagine.
And then
Oh.
the Prince of Thorns comes out of the darkness.
Sorry, was he using his magic to grip her thighs?
Yes.
Ew!
Yeah, he says
That is also assault.
oh yeah, everyone assaults everyone here. Yeah. So he's like, haha, my bad. I just couldn't keep control of myself, but don't stop on my account. And then she was like, oh my god, the Prince of Thorns. And
Have they ever met?
no,
She just knows who it is. Well, I guess
'Cause
if he controls Thorns, I guess. it
because
makes
who
sense.
else could it be? That's basically her reasoning.
Okay.
So yeah, he's like, hello, baby. And then Caldarion suddenly finds them, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And Caspian is like, I'm just here to see what the fuss is about, basically, with Rosalina. And then he's like, okay, bye. That's it.
Okay, bye. I
Literally.
assaulted you. Goodbye.
Literally.
I'm out.
And
Sorry.
Caldarion gets so upset that he was there, and he's gripping Rosalina, and he's like
Why is she always
distract.
being gripped?
I know. He's like, distract me, so I won't turn into my wolf, because I'm so angry right now. And
In you, there are two wolves.
in me there are I already made that too.
How could you not?
Yeah.
There's 4 wolves. Well, I'm 5. I'm guessing the Prince of Thorns can turn into a wolf, or is he special?
No, he's special. He's the only one not cursed.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's just a normal.
he's the evil guy. He's the
He's
one
the
that
evil
controls
guy.
the below.
So like the underworld, or
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what also has an underworld? Controlled by an evil guy that helped with put a curse and put power on the world.
I can probably name a few things.
I can try. What?
I'll say like I don't actually know what you're referencing.
So he leaves, and she goes to her room to get dinner. But then she's like, I gotta hold up the bargain of us eating together. So then she goes back to him in wolf form, and she's like, hey, can I eat with you? And he was like, sure.
and then they like cuddle up, and
I'm guessing they talk when they're in wolf form. They can talk.
yes, they talk in wolf form. But then like they never bring this up ever again. I just was like, yeah, she curls up to him like he's a dog and like falls asleep with him. And then the next day they're like random, I think she's like eating a custard pie when this happens, but a naked girl just suddenly appears at the front gate, and then Rosalina goes, girl, and
A nude woman.
that woman is a lesbian, I know it.
A nude woman has appeared at the gates.
But then they go to help her, and like the princes are like, oh yeah, this stuff happens all the time. Caspian, who's the Prince of Thorns, sends naked women here all the time to try to mess with us. And she's like,
Interesting.
yeah, you know. And she's
Women
like,
are property in this universe.
oh
don't you know?
yeah,
They're
oh
not
yeah.
people.
No, they
You could
aren't.
just send them like mail.
No, literally because she's carrying a message for her. She's like, oh, this is for you, by the way. And
For
like,
Rosalina?
yeah, because what happened was that she was having sex with the Prince of Thorns, and then he was like right before she was gonna come, he's like, I'm gonna send you, like he's gonna teleport her. And so she like arrived at the front gates, and Rosalina like gets this little paper from him, and it says, I was thinking about you the entire time, signed C. It's
Nasty.
horrific.
Keep that shit to yourself.
So they send her back. They're all pissy about it. What else happens? Oh yeah, also like that's pretty traumatizing, right? Wouldn't you think that's pretty traumatizing?
Sure is something.
All of the princes are like, yeah, she didn't look like you.
The naked girl.
Yeah, the
looked
naked girl looked like Rosalina.
I hate this.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad.
Whoa.
So
Yeah, that girl looked like you.
yeah, this part is literally only set up to know who this person is for a later plot point. But Kaldarian,
The girl.
no, this next part.
Oh.
Kaldarian meets up with like this random dude who's like an advisor of the kingdom, and he's like, you're not.
Who's the king? Does it matter?
I think
No?
he's holding place for now because they don't explain this well. He's holding place for Kaldarian because they are the princes in this world because of this curse, and they can't bring the curse to everyone else. But they're also holding the curse of the rose thorns from the evil guy, which is the Prince of Thorns, away. So there's two curses happening at once, basically. But they're too weak to fight against the Prince of Thorns, so the Prince of Thorns has taken over, which is why the thorns are all around the castle.
Okay. Too weak. That's such bullshit.
Yeah. So
Prove it. Prove it
um
to me that they're too weak.
so they're in the Winter Realm right now talking, and like Rosalina like shows up with cookies, and yet again she's like, this is like our bargain to like eat together and whatnot.
Food comes up a lot from what you're describing.
Not even like, it was just like food is used as a plot device.
Okay.
And like the advisor's like, who's that? Is that your new servant? And Kaldarian's like, no,
Your new pet.
literally. And then like the advisor leaves, and then Kaldarian is like, how the fuck did you get here? And this is where they rip off House Moving Castle. I'm going to
dear.
read the page
Oh no.
because I need it to be known that this is how it happened. Rosalina gestures to the door. I pushed in the handle and this little dial appeared. It had a snowflake on it. Then I moved it. I saw a rose, a tulip, a shell, and I stopped on this leaf. And it opened to, she spins to me, eyes wide with excitement. Was that the autumn realm? How is that possible? I just dropped my Kindle.
I've heard that before.
This sounds familiar. Yeah.
Also, the way that's her speaking.
Yeah.
She's talking and explaining that. That's
Yeah.
so
No,
dumb.
there's no show, only tell.
That's so
Yeah.
dumb. Couldn't just put it in her POV and her be like, "What's this?" There's a thing rather than
Her explain it, yeah.
somehow someone recapping what they did is so much worse than just
Oh,
showing
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. So, random stuff happens, basically, but now it's the day of the full moon. It's the one day that they aren't werewolves, basically. So
That sounds backwards.
literally, she makes that joke. She's like,
the movies got it wrong. This is also
They're
where
like, what's a movie?
no, there's the thing. They sometimes go into the human realm. So they've gone in before. So, like, they know what TV is. And, like, that's also a way for them to, like, have, like, different things. So, like, the Prince of the Spring wears, like, armor, but the Prince of the Fall wears, like, he's literally Dark Academia coded. He wears, like, a suit. Like, a tweed suit and stuff.
Oh my
So that's
God.
great. We love our
Kill
twink
me.
in tweed.
Or Tweety Twink.
Or Tweety Twink. So, yeah, they're like, the werewolves got the wrong idea. And they all decide to go do their different things. Dayton is like, I'm going to go to my own realm because I can. And she's like, I'll come with you. But she's not technically supposed to leave, but she's
I'm
going.
a prisoner.
But she's going to anyway. So they go, and, like, it's a really cool description, but of course they only, like, to spend, like, 3 seconds on it.
Is this the...
This is the summer.
Summerland?
Yeah, it's really hot. She has, like, a super sexy dress on.
Of course.
They go into this bar where, like, a lot of people are, and Jaden's like, I want to have sex. Like, not with her, but he's just like, I just need to get laid tonight. I need to use this opportunity. And so
Imagine you're in a bar, a prince walks into your establishment.
Literally,
you're
that's
like,
what they-
I need to bone.
literally that's how it happens. Everyone was like, oh my goodness, Prince Ezron. It's Dayton, I mean, not Ezron. Prince Dayton.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right now, everyone in this room.
And then Rosalina's like, I also want to have sex, but, like, I don't know who to have sex with, and no one will want just little old me. And Dayton's like, nah.
I'm an ugly little human girl.
Literally. And Dayton's like, nah, you're gonna, like, bone tons of guys. And a lot of guys have interest with her, and they drink lots of alcohol. But then, when a lot of guys start hitting on her, Dayton gets super jealous. So he takes her out of the summer realm. It's done and over like that. He's like, no, you're for me. And then they start making out. So this
Is
is
this the first romantic thing she's had with them?
this is the first genuine romantic thing that they've had that's
far
not
into
just
the book
been
is this?
touching.
Like 50%?
250 pages, yeah, 50%. This is the last of it, by the way.
The last of it?
Yeah, the last of
Last
the...
of the normal stuff?
No, the last of the romantic things that she experiences with them. Like,
So everything else is just sex.
No. This is the last, like, sexual thing that she experiences with them. It's a one and done type of deal.
I feel like this is missing something.
I know.
This sounds like this isn't hitting the right fantasies for people.
Get it because it's fantasy. So they have sex. They don't have sex. He starts going down on her, and then Ezrin and Farron both show up because they're in the middle of the castle, and they're like, "You're doing it dirty!" Yeah, like because that's not allowed. That's illegal. And so Ezrin,
We can bone, but you can't.
yeah, Farron starts turning into his wolf because he's just so angry.
Who's is that?
That
Andrew
Farron-
Garfield?
yeah.
Okay.
And then Ezrin is like, no, don't. And then Farron's turning into a wolf, but then Kaldarion comes and saves her, of course, and, like, he's like, yeah, he literally grabs her and leave.
Was this a series or a standalone?
Oh, no, it's a series.
Okay. I would hope so, because nothing's happened.
Yeah. Yeah, so instead of having sex with her, though, or, like, making any moves on her, he helps her sober up, even though he leaves his room for a second and she drinks more alcohol.
Okay.
So that's how that works. And she, like, accidentally flashes him, like, 3 times, but, like, he doesn't care, which makes her feel like she's ugly, but, like, she never says anything. And, like, when they're going to bed, because they're going to bed in the same bed, obviously.
There's only one bed.
There's only one
this is
bed.
a castle,
That's-
so
yeah.
there's so many beds.
No, there's only one bed in this one room.
That's normal.
Yeah. So, yeah, during this, like, she's like, have you ever loved someone? And he was like, yes, I have, but, like, I broke up with her or something. Like, they don't really go into detail about this. I think he must have loved, like, the Enchantress or something, and I'm fully sure that that's her mom. Like,
oh, Rosalina's mom?
yeah. Anyway, during this period, Farron and Dayton have sex again, same way as I just showed you, but except Farron is like, what if she was between us? What if she was, like, licking my button? Like,
Don't say that.
licking my button.
Don't say that.
So that's great. Next day, she's super hungover. She goes to,
Rosalina sees Dayton and he apologizes for like being like crazy, and she's like, oh, he said that because I'm ugly. He said that because I'm an ugly little human.
Also, I know these are fae. I'm just picturing them as normal dudes that turn into wolves.
That's kind
Especially
of it.
after, like, I read the Cruel Prince series, and, like, they are very clearly fae. These dudes just sound like dudes. They're turned into wolves.
Yeah, no, yeah. Holly Black
It
knows how
sounds
to...
like you should have just made them werewolves, not fae.
Literally!
But I guess if they were cursed to be wolves...
That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, they would just
Making
turn
them
into
werewolves?
dudes.
Can you imagine, like, an opposite thing where, like, they're normally wolves, but at night they turn into humans?
That would have been cooler. I think that would have been cooler. Anyways, she's upset because she realizes, like, she, like, wanted Dayton to like her, but she also realizes that she has feelings for Keldarion.
Which one? Is that Dayton?
That Dayton, that Keldarion, that Cruel Prince, that Ezrin, that's, Farron.
Okay. I feel like this dude doesn't know shit.
No, he hasn't. He was there and then he was gone. And the reason why I started reading this book is because of this TikTok that I saw where it was the author herself saying, like, when he's like a Night Prince character and he like can't take his helmet off to like show you his true self, but he also like goes down on you, and so he like puts his helmet on your head and like turns it around so he can like perform on you. And I was like, that sounds interesting. But I guess that happens later in a different book because that did not happen in this book. Anyway. So we're now 75% of the way through. Yay!
Nothing's happened!
Yay, we're 75% of the way through!
I think there's been more banging scenes between the other characters.
Yes.
And there's been none with her.
Yes.
Like, she's supposed to be the main character.
Yes. This is also written between two sisters, which is like,
that's weird.
That's weird. It's weird.
So, like, are you just into the weird voyeurism on gay sex? Or
both of you? Like, that's crazy. There's a ball because
there must be.
So Rosalina does a ball to so she's gonna be like, she plans a ball for the winter court so that the Keldarion can possibly meet his mate in the winter area, but then she's gonna do this for all the other seasons. So they're there, and it's from Ezrin's perspective. This guy exists, and he is like, oh, she looks really pretty, and he doesn't have any like thoughts about like fucking her. Shocker. He's just like, wow, she's really pretty and she's really nice.
Wow. A man who doesn't objectify and sexualize a woman? Crazy.
Yeah. So
he's like the least prominent dude.
Yeah. Kel chooses to dance with Rosalina when Rosalina says to dance with his mate. He's like, I just want to dance with you.
His mate, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah. She's like, dance with a new person to hopefully try to find your mate.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like dancing with her, and he's like, everyone else should find their mates, but not me, because I'm too far gone, basically. And
I'm such an angsty bad boy.
Yeah.
No one would ever love me.
No, the thing is, he's like, I don't want to find my mate because I just want to spend the rest of my time with you. And then she gets all mad because she's like, even if
a man wants me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. She's like,
is this the guy that she was concerned hated her? Or was that someone else?
No, that was that guy.
Okay.
Cool. So he's like, I don't want to find my mate and like spend so much time finding my mate. I just want to be happy in my last couple of days of being a man with you. And then she's like, no, but you have to survive even if like you were with a mate.
Is he gonna die?
No, he's just gonna turn into a wolf forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have a deadline or anything?
Yeah, they're like, it's the same shit from Beauty and the Beast where there's there's literally 4 different roses that are dying. They're different colors according to the seasons.
Wait, can I guess what colors?
Yes.
Blue?
Yes.
You can guess yellow for summer.
Yes.
Orange for fall?
Yes.
Or just red. And then, what's the last season? Spring?
Yeah.
Pink?
Yeah.
Red?
Pretty similar. I don't quite remember right now, but it's very close.
Okay. They all sound... Okay.
Yeah. So, she runs away because she's angry because she wants him to, like,
That's such a weird reaction.
I know.
That's so odd.
I know. I was like weirded out. So
like a prince wants to dance with you. Girl, dance with him. If you think he's hot, dance with him.
And she's like, he's just saying these things. He's only teasing with me. He doesn't actually care about me. And then the winter court advisor comes and talks to her, and he's like, hey, you okay? And she's like, no, I'm not okay. And then he's like, well, yeah, because you're a whore, and you're a maggot, and you're a weird human. And she's like, wait, what? And he's like, I'm gonna take you out of here. And because like you're just
driving you out of here.
You're distracting the princes. And she's like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. And he's like, no, I'm just gonna send you home. And she's like, but I don't want that.
But I don't want to.
But I don't want to.
But what if I didn't want to go home? What if I want to stay with these 4 hot dudes that only kind of care about me?
So Ezrin comes in and he thwacks the advisor and he's like, go away. And the advisor like,
you did that motion and I just imagine he karate chops the dude's neck.
I
just
wish
crumples.
I wish. And then Ezrin's like, are you okay? And then Rosalina like literally says like, he was really mean. He was mean. So they go back to the dance floor and start dancing, and she's like, what color are your eyes? And he goes,
right, this is the dude with the helmet.
He goes, brown. And then,
whoa,
guess who shows up?
Ben Barnes.
Yeah, Prince of Thorns. He shows up and he's like, you're having a ball without me, and everyone's like,
so Maleficent Coder's like, you didn't invite me
literally
to this royal
They're
event.
like, oh my god. They're like, that's.
Oh my god, this evil dude that does nothing has showed up.
Yeah, and he's like, he grabs her and he's like, you're mine. And this is when it's despicable that she does not react to him, to like people doing things, because he licks her boob to her lip. And she's just like, he licked my boob to my lip. And then I said, go away.
What the fuck? That's assault again. You should keep it a tally for how much assault is in this book.
I know. That's a lot of work.
That's
a lot of work, though. That would be like 20.
It's also nasty.
It's fucking
Can
gross.
you imagine if she was sweaty?
Yeah. Well, it was in the winter, so he would probably be cold.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes when I'm cold, I sweat.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's true.
Cold sweats.
Anyways, they have, like, evil banter, and then he licks her boob and disappears.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, hey, girl. Bye. So the people of the Winter Realm, like everyone else, is like, you, Keldarion, you're working with the Prince of Thorns who have like hurt us before, and he's like, nah, I did not invite that guy. And so everyone's like, Rosalina, you need to get out of here, because for some reason it like escalates really quickly, and she's like, okay, I'm back, and she's like in her home, like she's in the castle again.
Oh, I thought
she like went back.
She went back to the human world. I was like,
no.
Whoa.
She goes back to the castle, and then she's like, I don't know what to do. And then she's like, Magic Castle, show me what's in the tower. Because Caspian does say, like, they haven't even told you what's in the tower. So she's like, I wonder what's in the tower. And then
I bet it's where the roses are, of course.
So, like, the tower opens, basically, for her. Open sesame.
Why does this why does this castle just do whatever she says?
I don't.
She's just a human girl.
I don't know.
Sorry,
woman.
She's 26?
Yeah. Or around that age. Yeah.
God.
She's post-college age. So she goes into the tower, she sees the 4 flowers, and then, like, the castle plays the memory of, like, the princes convenient. Getting cursed. Yeah. And she literally says, Castle Tree. She says, you're showing me a memory. I have it ingrained in my mind because of how stupid it is. I'm like, you did not have to say that! And it's, yet again, the same exact stuff that we were told way back in the beginning when we first talk about the curse. But now she knows.
I love things being repeated to the reader.
Yeah. So...
Because we're stupid. Don't you get it?
We're
stupid.
No, we're so
need
stupid.
to be told everything.
We're so stupid. So then Keldarion comes back and he's like, you need to leave now. And, like, because she was, like, trying to, like, help the roses because somehow she got, like, a little bit of magic power that was not described at all. Like, and she was like, I'm healing the roses. What? And he's like, you're fucking touching the roses. We're all gonna die. And she's like, ah. And so she runs away because she thinks he hates her. And, like, she runs. Pick me! She runs away. And then she's, like, in the woods. And then the goblins come. And she's like, oh, my God, the goblins. They're gonna eat me again. And then Keldarion comes in wolf form and saves her again. And then he's like, you need to run, but like, because the goblins are gonna get you. And then they're on like an ice bridge. I'm telling this so quickly because it happens so fast.
Okay.
They're on an ice bridge and like, she like slipped, like she's like, oh my god, the ice is gonna like crumble and die or something, and like I need to save them. And then Keldarion at the same time is like, I need to save her, so he plunges into like the ice to make like all the goblins fall into the water. But then he's like, she like jumps in after him and she's trying to save him, and he's obviously too heavy because he's a huge fucking wolf. And then somehow she's like, I need help, and the thorns that are covering this area suddenly help pick him up, and she's like, oh my god, what if all the thorns aren't that bad? So she wakes him up, she tries to help him, like, and they get to this, like, little den thing that Ezrin does, because he likes hunting, like, right. Sometimes. So she, like, patches him up and stuff, and he was like, when I said run away, I meant, like, go back to your room.
That's when you run away, I like, go to your room.
And I was just like, oh my god. I was reading this part.
Was this what you were reading at Thanksgiving?
Oh, I was reading from the ballroom up through this, or like even before that. That was horrific.
Were you reading this in the same room as everyone?
Yes, yes. I was showing Lila and everything. It was so bad. So she helps him heal, and he's in like a wolfy form, and she's like, we got to get our clothes dry because we were just in like ice cold water, which makes sense. But he didn't have clothes because he's a wolf.
Wait, now I have a question. Are they naked when they
yes.
revert back to human form? Okay.
But we haven't seen it.
Okay.
Until now. So she's like sleeping, and like she has like the wolf, like she has like her, like she has like a little blanket wrapped up, but then the blanket goes out, and for some reason, yet again, like House Moon Castle, he like turns into a man while he's asleep, and then she looks back to him, and he's cuddling her, but then his arm is like so close to like gripping her boob, his hand, and his erect ding-a-ling is also smushed in between her booty cheeks, and
while he's asleep.
Well,
actually, I guess that's kind of normal.
No, that's what happened. That happens sometimes. Okay. So they wake up, and he's like, "Good morning," and like she's like, "Oh," and they're like, well, we gotta go back to the castle now. And whilst they're going back to the castle, she's like, oh, by the way, the Thorns kind of helped you survive. And he was like, what? That means the prince, I almost said the cruel prince. The Prince of Thorns was watching us this entire time. And she's like, no, but like I was able to control them. And he's like, no, only him. Not even his mother can control the Thorns and like whatnot. And
not even his mother.
And she's like, but I don't know. And he's like, I gotta save you. And she's like, I don't want to go home. And he's like, I'm forcing you to go home. And then she goes, am I your mate? And then he kisses her.
What makes you think that?
I don't know.
That's kind of a presumptuous thing to
because
say.
She had the feeling of like what they were describing when she was like trying to save him because he was almost about to die. She had that feeling of like that was described earlier about like the fate bond. And so she's like, am I your...
can't be mates if there's 4 books.
Well, here's the thing. He can't have her be a mate because... and like he shoves her back through like the thorns, so she's back in the human realm now. But also like, couldn't she just immediately go back? That's my question.
Yeah, it's like push back out. I'm coming back in.
Literally, because it's not like there's a steadfast rule of like only entry once per blue moon, or if there is, I don't know it. But okay, basically she's like, I'm back in this normal realm, and 2 months later, time skip. 2 months later,
how much time has passed while she's been here?
No,
I imagine it's been like
at least 1 moon cycle.
So a month.
Yeah. So 2 months later passes. We're in the Prince of Thorns' perspective. He has...
That's so weird. What's she doing? It's been 2 months. She didn't try to go back in?
I don't know.
She's like, well, I bet I've been kicked out. Guess I'm going back to my books.
Yeah. She, like, the Prince of Thorns has Keldarion trapped, and he's like, where is she? And Keldarion's like, I sent her away, and the Prince of Thorns is like, well,
his name is Caspian.
His name is Caspian, yeah. The Prince of Thorns is like, well, that's great because, here's the plot twist. There's another, like, bargain that we don't know why it happened, but there's a bargain that, Caspian made with Caldarion for some reason to return, like when Caldarion finds his mate, he has to give her to Caspian.
Now, how does that work?
I don't know.
Why?
That was literally the end of the book.
That's the end? That's the cliffhanger?
That's the cliffhanger.
That's how I feel. Burp, barfy, garbage.
Yeah.
That's such a lame place to end. I'm sorry, that's so boring.
Yeah.
That's so boring.
Yeah.
Wow. Everything in this book was totally original, and
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
No.
Literally, nothing in that was original. Except for maybe the 4 dudes, but, like, that's not actually original.
Yeah.
That's just, like, mashing together different things.
4 big guys.
4 big guys!
And they grab on my thighs.
They did like to grab on our thighs. Or at least Caspian did.
They did. They truly did.
That was... Oh. Thank you for not making me read that.
Yeah.
So I would not have wanted to keep going after the voyeurism scene.
Yeah.
I mean, probably
It was
I
a
would have
toughie.
stopped before that.
It was
you
a
know.
toughie.
Also, this seems so, like, not typical for a romantasy book to not just be filled with sex.
I
There's
know.
so much not sex in here.
I know. It was,
And
it was kind of annoying.
I totally expect you to be like, and all 5 of them had sex.
That's what I was
Like,
thinking.
that's what I was expecting, but
That's what I was
No.
expecting too, but it was worse almost. Like, I wanted to make fun of the
it's
sex.
just dry.
But none of the sex was...
And the sex was only between these 2.
I know!
Not even with her.
Nope.
What purpose does she serve?
She was in the Chuck chair.
We could have...
Have you heard about that? The Chuck chair. Like, you know when you stay at hotels and then there's like a chair just in the corner?
Oh.
That's the Chuck chair.
Except they didn't know she was there, which is weird.
Until the very
the
end.
Yeah. Yeah, this sounds like this could have easily... Well, not easily. There would probably be absolutely nothing if she wasn't in the book. It sounds like she doesn't add much.
No, she doesn't.
Except just being a plot device.
She's a
Everything
plot
seems
device.
like it's centered more around the other princes, not her.
Yeah, she's a plot device and a reader insert at the same exact time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is strange that there's not more sex then.
Yeah. I'm
weird.
sure there will be.
I'm sure there's more sex.
Thank you so much for watching. I don't really know how to end these quite yet.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah. It's nice to be here together.
Yay!
Yeah, this is gonna be really fun. I hope this goes well. If you liked us talking and yapping, sorry, this is a really long video, but please like and subscribe. We'll do this as much as we can. I mean, I was able to do this pretty well if I just focused on it, but like sometimes I was in class working on my text, so I just need to get a little bit better used to this.
Well, yeah, this is a new thing.
This is a new thing.
And I haven't done anything yet. I think about doing things a lot, but I don't do them.
You'll do them soon. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.